Is this you? You're feeling sick. You're feeling tired and weak. Dads, I'm talking to you today. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're carrying extra weight that won't budge. Your energy crashes every afternoon, and you avoid looking at yourself in the mirror. Deep down, you know that you're not the example you want to be for your kids. Guys, this one isn't just about willpower or motivation. There's actually a breakdown happening in your body right now. And today, I'm going to walk you through the 4-step recovery plan that addresses the real root causes. Wives, if this sounds like your husband, you're not going to want to miss this. So grab your notebook and a pen and get ready to take some notes. Welcome to Strength for Generations, the go-to podcast for Christian families who want to build strength, restore energy, and deepen connection with God at the center. I'm Krista Baker, Christian health coach, wife, mom, and co-founder of Baker Family Fitness. I'm here to help you honor God with your health and bring peace back to the process, to simplify what it means to build strength in your body, renew your mind, and care for your spirit, all without losing precious time with your family. So grab your coffee and your ribeye, and let's do this His way. Well, welcome back to Strength for Generations. I am Krista Baker, your podcast host. I am a Christian health coach. I absolutely love helping moms and dads get strong and energetic and feel confident so they can lead their families well, really focusing on generational wellness. And today, just before we dive into the topic, I wanted to share something with you that's been happening quite often, and it's pretty cool. I keep getting messages from husbands. Men who initially joined my program to support their wives. They wanted to learn a lot of stuff too, but they really just wanted to support their wives. And last week I got a message from one of my male clients, and he said, Krista, I'll be honest with you. At first I was hesitant to join because I knew I wanted to help support my wife, but I actually didn't think I could follow through on anything because I'm so busy. But you have a way of making this stuff doable for our schedules. And then he went on to tell me how working on his health alongside his wife has actually brought them closer. He was so excited. And how they're both getting stronger, how they both have more energy, how their kids are watching them make better choices and now asking them a lot of questions. And when he said, we're building something here that's going to impact generations, that's it, guys. That's what we're doing. This is the work that happens when you stop making excuses and start actually doing the work. When you realize that your health is not just about you, it's about your marriage, your kids, your legacy. And when you and your wife are both committed to getting stronger together, everything changes. So I'm going to give you a background story of someone I worked with. I'm going to call him David today. So he came to me 6 months ago and he was struggling. He was 47. He was carrying an extra 40 pounds, and most of it was around his midsection. He told me, oh my gosh, I crash every day. I'm at work and I just want to sleep. His testosterone levels were really low. He had just been told that from his doctor. And he was avoiding specific conversations with his doctor because he knew that they were going to be about like diabetes medication or cholesterol drugs. He's like, everyone that in my age bracket, they're all on, cholesterol drugs. Why is that? And he started noticing these trends. So he's kind of avoiding these conversations. I don't know if that sounds familiar to you, but I hear that quite often from the gentlemen that I speak to. Or they say like, oh, I'm fine. Everything's okay. But really, you're not. And this story is happening to millions of men right now. But here's what made David different. He was actually willing to do the work. Not the easy work, my friends. Not the quick fix work. The real work. And now 6 months later, he's down 35 pounds. His energy is steady all day. His testosterone levels are back in the normal range. And last month, his doctor said his labs look better than they had in 15 years. But more than that, David told me something that stopped me in my tracks. He told me, Krista, I feel like myself again. I have energy for my family. I have energy for my kids. Like I'm bouncing out of bed. And that's what we're after, men. We're not just after weight loss. Sure, we need to lose weight. And if you listen to the podcast I did I think it was last week, we talked about like what weight loss actually is versus muscle loss. We're obviously wanting better numbers on our lab reports, but in reality, we just want to feel healthy. I hear that from so many people. I just want to feel healthy. Well, what does healthy mean to you? So let's talk about what's actually happening to men right now. Because there's a crisis, and nobody really talks about this. Men are sicker, they're more tired, and they're weaker than they've ever been in human history. We've got testosterone levels that are dropping and dropping and dropping. So much so that I think it's like 30% over the last 30 years. Obesity rates among men have tripled. And here's the scary part. Men in their 40s and 50s are developing diseases that used to show up in their 70s and 80s. And so I was even talking to my daughter today. We were talking about living longer. And I said, most people right now are living longer, sicker. So you're sicker for more of your life because we symptom manage. We're like, well, I can manage that. I can just take this thing. But it means that more things are coming. It's not just going to go away on its own. And honestly, here's what the medical system won't tell you. It's not just genetics. It isn't just aging. This is a breakdown that has specific identifiable causes. And more importantly, it has specific actionable solutions. So today I'm going to walk you through my 4-step recovery plan. And this is the exact framework that I use with my male clients, most of them, just depending on what I see, where they're kind of starting. Some of the younger guys, it's not as in-depth. Like we're not seeing as many issues, but especially my like maybe 40 and up guys, this is the same framework that actually helped David and lots of other men that I've had an opportunity to work with. So first, we're going to fix your metabolic foundation. We've got to really figure out what's going on with your insulin, your liver, your iron. What most people, men, don't understand is your weight gain, your energy crashes, your low testosterone, and your belly fat, they're actually connected. They're all symptoms of the same underlying problem, metabolic dysfunction. And at the center of this dysfunction is a 3-part system that's breaking down. You've got insulin resistance, you've got iron overload, and you've got liver dysfunction, which they all really work together. But these issues, they kind of feed off of each other and they create a downward spiral that gets worse over time. You know, we have insulin resistance. So when you eat foods that spike your blood sugar, your body releases insulin to manage it. But over years of poor food choices and constant stress, your cells stop responding to it properly. So your body has to produce more and more of it to get the same job done. So high insulin levels block fat burning and promote fat storage, especially around your midsection. And then, we've talked about the iron overload. Men don't have monthly cycles like women do. So we have a natural way to eliminate excess iron from our bodies. And over decades, because you don't have that iron builds up in your liver and other organs. And that creates oxidative stress and inflammation throughout your body. It damages your hormone-producing tissues, and it actually suppresses your testosterone production. And then we also have liver dysfunction. So when your liver gets packed with fat from years of insulin resistance, it can't function properly. Think about all the added fat that's around the belly. Like if you look at some men, it's mostly men that I see that have kind of like that hard belly. It's not just men. We see it with women too. That's like a guaranteed. If it's like that, your fat is surrounding your organs. I mean, belly fat just in general. So the fat doesn't have anywhere to go, and half of the time it's just pushing inside of the organs. So around the heart, that's why we start to see all of these things break down. When the liver has that surrounded, it can't process hormones correctly. It can't detox efficiently. It can't regulate your metabolism. And this becomes like a vicious cycle. So the poor liver function makes insulin resistance worse. Insulin resistance promotes more fat storage in the liver. Iron overload damages liver function and hormone production. And around we go. So here's what we need to do. Okay, here's your action step number 1. Get the right labs done. You need to know where you stand metabolically. So I want you to go over to the website, bakerfamilyfitness.com/glucoferrin, and I want you to download the complete lab list. Okay? It's on there. You just have to click the button. You can print it out and take it to your doctor. Once you get your doctor to fill that out, which you're probably going to get some pushback. I literally had pushback from mine. And even just getting your insulin tested, it's extremely hard depending on where you live. So where I am here in Canada, for some reason, they just don't want to test it. They need you to go see a specialist. So that's when maybe just go to a naturopath or someone else, rocket doctor. There's a couple different options. If you need, just message me and we'll help figure out wherever you are. But once you get those results, you're going to go back to my website or even start there and we can start the conversation to get you booked in with one of the professionals that I know so that you can actually have your numbers read properly. And from there, we can create a targeted plan. Okay? Your action step number 2, we're going to stop adding fuel to the fire. So a lot of people, we have to figure out how much food the body needs, right? You're probably, if we have a lot of extra body fat, you're eating too much food and you're not moving enough. Probably don't have enough muscle. But one of the biggest things, especially with the iron issues that most people don't understand is we already have too much of it in our body. So we need to stop adding more of the wrong stuff. Remember, there's 2 types of iron in food, heme and non-heme. Heme comes from animal sources and it's easily absorbed by your body. Non-heme comes from fortified foods, supplements, vegetables. There's a lot of different areas that when we have too much of it, we've created a toxic environment. So the problem is that it's everywhere. It's in your cereal, your protein bars, your multivitamins. If it says fortified with iron or lists iron in the ingredients, we have to pull it out right now. Until we can get your body really established, like your organs really healthy, we have to say no to it right now. And I hate saying that because a lot of people are like, oh, it feels restrictive. I'm like, we have to just use the language that we're healing. That's it. I'm giving my body everything God told me to put into it. And right now, that thing I just can't have. Okay? I have created a complete list of iron-loaded foods. Maybe there's certain things that I missed, but it is pretty in-depth. And that's for my current clients. It's actually being used in one of the courses that we're building right now. But if you're listening to this right now and you want it, send me an email and I will share it with you because it'll probably open up your eyes and just give you an opportunity to know, I need to start here. Okay? And so action step number 3, we're going to support our liver with glucoferrin. And I know that you're being told that you need to take all the things. We do it differently over here. We get to the root of the issue. We don't put Band-Aid solutions on anything. So when we talk about glucoferrin, we truly believe that this is not a Band-Aid solution. I am witnessing too many people's bodies just change and heal. The ones that are following the plan, not the ones that are kind of semi-doing it, the ones that are like, yep, I'm all in, I'm ready for this. Those people are healing. Like it's amazing. And so it's the thing that's actually going to allow your organs to start to work and function properly. I'm a testament to it. My husband is a testament to it. I get these testimonials from clients all the time. Your blood labs are proving it. Energy levels are proving it. Okay. But if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm going to take that to lose weight, we're not going to work well together. I don't just do that. So if we want to actually learn how to implement all the other things, then we build a plan. So this is your natural protein that helps your body manage the iron levels and reduce the inflammation. It's going to support your liver function, improve your insulin sensitivity, and help reduce the oxidative stress that's damaging your hormone production. So don't just go and add testosterone to your body. Your body's not even doing anything good with it anyways. We need to get to the root. So I really want you to consider that. And I want you to ask questions. I want you to message me. It's just a conversation, guys. There's no pressure with me. Literally, you're curious, you want to know more, send me a message. That's it. Okay? You can obviously tell I'm quite passionate about this. I just know it works. And I wish someone would have told me this a long time ago. All right. That was only step 1. Are you ready for step 2? Here it is. We're going to build real strength and move like you're designed to. So a little bit of a truth bomb. You're not just out of shape, you're weak. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because weakness is killing you, literally. When you lose muscle mass, your metabolism slows down. Your muscles are weak, your body can't handle stress properly. When you don't challenge your body physically, everything else starts to break down. Your bones get weaker, your hormones decline, your cardiovascular system, well, that becomes less efficient. Your mental resilience, that decreases. But here's what most men get wrong about fitness. They think that exercise is about burning calories, having to do what you did when you were back in college days or in high school. You're 40-something. You don't have to do what you did back then. This isn't just about sweating off as many calories as you can or, getting your heart rate up. It's not what your body needs. It needs to be challenged. Your muscles need to be loaded. Your bones need to experience a little bit of stress. And your nervous system needs to adapt to heavy loads. So here's your action steps. You're going to lift heavy things at least twice a week. I want you to find a gym. I want you to go and grab a couple sets of dumbbells. Go on Facebook Marketplace or wherever you got to go. Grab some basic equipment. You don't need the full squat rack and barbell. I always say start with a bench and a couple sets of dumbbells, and we can build on that once we're using the equipment that we currently own. We're going to focus on our compound movements, squat and deadlift and press and row. Let's start with some weights that can challenge you for, let's go 8 to 12 reps. If you can do more than those 12 reps, the weight is too light. My episode that's coming out after this one, you're going to hear from an expert, and she is an expert in, she really works with a lot of women, but everything she teaches, it's the same. It's the same for men and women. The principles are the same. Women are just marketed to differently. So we wanted to really dial in on that. But progressive overload is the goal for every single person listening to this podcast right now. You should be adding weight or reps every week. Okay. Not the same thing over and over. And obviously done the right way without injury. So that's something that if you need help figuring out, shoot me a message. Your action step number 2 is walk daily. Just walk. Not for calorie burning. For recovery, stress management. You need to get outside for 30 to 45 minutes every day. Preferably outside. I mean, I live in Canada, so there's times I'm I'll just go on the treadmill. But most of the time, it's outside because God calls us out there for a reason. It's a really good place to connect with Him. Sometimes I'll have a podcast when I go for a walk, but most of the time I just have calming music in the background if I have my headphones on. So I can actually hear from the Lord because then I will be able to gather my thoughts. Sometimes it's no music. It just, you can use this time to think and pray and just be present. Walking is going to support your recovery also from your strength training, and it's going to help you manage your cortisol levels and your insulin issue levels too. I like walking after meals. Okay, here's your action step number 3. Let's stop doing cardio for fat loss. Okay, endless cardio sessions are working against you. They're going to increase your cortisol. They're going to break down your muscle tissue. If you're not training enough, they're just breaking everything down, going to make you feel hungrier. And they actually don't address the root cause of fat gain. Okay. If you want to do some conditioning work, let's just keep it short and intense for the next little while as we're building muscle and healing your organs. We could sprint if you want. You don't have to. You just have to move your body. Look at your total daily activity. Strength training and walking should make up 90% of your movement. Okay, you ready for step 3? Here it is. We're going to eat real food that supports your goals. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Most men have no idea how to eat. You've been eating the same way since college, or whatever is in the house, or whatever your wife made. Now, I have a husband that meal preps a lot. He understands. He's the best on a barbecue, so I don't even try to match his skills. Nor do I want to. And I remember when we first started dating, he looked at my fridge and I had all my meal prep for the week. And he's like, this is amazing. And it was all clean and ready to go. And so I'm going to take a little credit for teaching him how to manage all of that. But we just batch cook. So if you've been eating the same way since college, grabbing a pizza, grabbing a sub, grabbing whatever's convenient, eating when you're stressed, using food as entertainment, and you wonder why your body's not responding the way it wants to, like, this is the issue. Food is fuel. It's going to send information to your cells. So it's either going to support your goals or it's going to work against them. There's no neutral. So here's what we're going to do. Here's your action steps. We're going to prioritize protein at every meal. You need adequate protein to maintain muscle mass, support your hormone production, and stay satisfied. So we're going to focus on whole food sources. Let's just think, if it has this massive list of ingredients, that's not a whole food, okay? Meat, fish, eggs, dairy. Protein should be the foundation of every meal you eat. Start there, and then we can focus on the rest. Okay, action step number 2 is we're going to remove those processed foods, guys. If it comes in a box, a bag, or wrapper, be suspicious. If it has more than 5 ingredients, be very suspicious. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, let's just stay away from it for the next little while. These processed foods, they're designed to be addictive. It's attractive. Think of the marketing, like you're being sucked in. Do you want to be sucked in by marketing? Like they're loaded with a bunch of crap. Chemicals, preservatives, inflammatory oils. They disrupt your hormones and they create like massive cravings. That's why we feel like we need more of it. If we just stick to whole foods that your great-grandfather would recognize, you're going to be in a very good place. It just means you got to prepare, which means that's our action step number 3. So we're going to plan the meals. We're going to stop making food decisions when you're hungry. Like, one of the crucial things that I'm teaching my kids, don't go to the grocery store hungry. That's the worst. I actually, in one of the course that I'm building, I built a module of how grocery stores market to our desires and to these little signals that go off in our brain that get us to go down these aisles. I'm like, if we stay over here, we're in a good position. So I know that when we're hungry, we make the worst choices. So you've got to plan ahead. You've got to think ahead. If you've never done that, just start with maybe just breakfast. Get a grocery shopping list, put that together, and prep what you can ahead of time. If your wife is willing to do this work with you, maybe she's really innately made to really do these meal preps and stuff, talk about it together. And when you have a plan, you're not going to just rely on your willpower or if you're tired or all the other things that's going on. So we just got to plan ahead. Eventually, you're not going to need to plan. It's going to be so natural for you. So trust me, we get you there. That is my goal, to help people get there where they're like, I don't need to log in anything. I just know what to do. And that's fantastic. Step 4, okay, we're going to get the support that you actually need, and we're going to stop trying to do it alone. So here's the thing I've noticed about men. You think asking for help is a sign of weakness. You think you should be able to figure it out on your own. And you think that admitting you're struggling means that you're failing as a man. And I'm going to be very frank, this mindset is literally killing you. The men who get the best results are the ones who admit they need guidance. They're the ones who invest in their health. They're the ones who surround themselves with other men who are doing the work. So our action step number 1 is stop making excuses. I hear the same excuses every day. I don't have time. I don't have money. My wife won't support me. I'll start next month. Everything's okay. I'm fine. I feel fine. It's all good. These stories you're telling yourself, you're telling them to avoid doing the hard work. The truth is, you don't have time not to do this. You don't have money not to invest into your health. Your family needs you to be strong and healthy. They want a man. They want a leader. They want someone who's going to protect them and keep them safe. There's never going to be a perfect time to start. Actually, the most perfect time to start is right now, today. Your action step number 2, you're going to find a Christian community, guys. You need to be around other men, other Christian men who are committed to their health, men who will call you out when you're making excuses, men who will encourage you when things get hard, men who understand what you're going through and share your values. It isn't about finding some gym bro mentality where it's all about getting shredded and showing off and who can bench more and do all these things. Sure, have healthy competition. I watch my husband and we have friends that come over every Saturday morning. I can't call them clients. I can't, even though we work together. They've just been part of my life, and they are the reason why I took my business to a place of wanting to work with more couples because I watched them get healthy together and build this together, that I started building my entire business around really hoping that both husband and wife will come into the program. Because I saw the impact that had in their whole family and their home, and how they managed and how they just like loved on each other. And so when her and I are kind of doing our own thing and him and Mike are doing their thing, they just encourage each other. And it's so cool because they're both very equally strong. And then there's other areas where like one can do more of this and one can do more of that. And it's so cool because they're like, man, I want to do that too. Or way to go, bro. That's all it is. We need to find men who understand that taking care of your body actually matters. They need to know that you being well is going to allow you to be a better dad, to be a better like disciple, to be able to show up for your community and your church. Men who are going to pray with you when things get hard and celebrate when you succeed. Okay? Now, I would be honored to be able to help you figure that out and make other connections with fellow Christians. That's what we do in our program. You know, I had a lot of couples come to me from a specific church, and I felt so blessed because it just meant that they trust me. It was really easy for them to be like, yep, I'm doing this. And I get to work with them all the time. And I'm watching them just soar in their lives and just start to really understand. So now when they all go out together, they know what to do. They're like, who's bringing the protein? You know, for me, that would be an honor. If that's something that you want to learn more about, you're not just getting a health coach, you're joining a community of faith-driven men and women. We're doing this together. We pray for each other. I'm really working on building community. And I know sometimes people are a little bit shy about community, but they're there. I know they're listening. I know they're watching, and they're inspired. We need to make sure that we're bringing God-fearing men into our lives. Action 3, we're going to invest in professional guidance. Here's the reality. You guys have been trying to figure this out on your own for years. How's that working out for you? The men who get the fastest results are the ones who get professional help. They work with coaches who have been where they are. They follow proven systems instead of trying to piece it all together. This one goes for you ladies too, girls. YouTube videos are awesome, but they are not the whole plan. And that's why we're trying to piece it all together and nothing feels like it works. It's time to invest in your health the same way you invest into your career, into your Christian education, into your churches, into every other area of your life. Action step 4, guys, include your wife. The most successful men in our program are the ones whose wives are involved. Not because their wives are nagging them, but because they're doing it together. It's not always the case. Like I said before, I've had men come into the program, just them. Their wives are like, nope, we're good. The stories of the people that are doing it together are just so amazing that I want to scream them from the top of the mountain. When both spouses are committed to health, everything changes. Your kids see both parents modeling good choices. You support each other when things get challenging. You're helping each other. You're not just being like, hey, I got you another bucket of ice cream, when you're like, I don't want to have that in the house anymore. It's not about just fixing yourself. We're building a legacy of health for our children and our grandchildren. Okay, let's go back. 4-step framework that addresses the real root cause. Here's our steps. 1, fix your metabolic foundation by addressing your insulin resistance, your iron overload, your liver dysfunction. We got to figure out what's going on in your organs. Step 2, we're going to build real strength through progressive resistance training and daily movement. Step 3, eat real food. It's going to help support your goals instead of working against them. Step 4, get the support that you need and stop trying to do everything alone. It's not complicated. We literally make it more complicated. The world wants this to be complicated for you because the world does not want you to succeed. Your Heavenly Father wants you to succeed. He loves you and He wants you to put your hand up and say, I am not strong enough to do this on my own. Lord, please come in and help me. It does require commitment. It does require you to be consistent. It requires you to stop making excuses and actually start doing the work. Okay, my friends, please don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait to be motivated. Don't wait to get permission. I want you to make a decision and act on it. Think about investing in your health the way that you invest into all other areas of your life. The question isn't whether this works. The question is whether you're going to do it. Your family is watching. So what are you going to do? Now, brother, I'm coming to you from a place of love. I know you would die for your kids, but are you willing to live for them? Are you willing to do the hard work to get healthy so you can be the man that they need you to be for decades to come? Let God be at the center of your decision making. Pray about it. Ask Him to show you what He wants for your health and for your family and your legacy. Be the leader in your home. God is calling you to that. And honestly, your wife needs that. It's the most attractive thing for women to look at their husbands and be like, damn, that man is so on it. He cares about his health. He cares about our family. He cares about our long-term plan, our long-term success, and what we're leaving behind. I know God's blessed me with the ability to help people really understand what this stuff means. And I know I can support you. So if that's me, amazing. If not, even if you're looking for a male coach or if you want someone different, I can help point you in the right direction. I've worked with many coaches in my career when I used to coach coaches, and I would be honored to just help you steer the ship to finally getting the freedom that you truly desire. All right, my friends, may God bless you as you make your decisions, as you really think about this and pray about it. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for listening to the podcast today. If this episode helps, if it's helped you, I want you to share it with another dad who needs to hear it. Ladies, if this is you sharing it with your husband, please don't go, you need to listen to this. Please just say, oh my goodness, I heard something that I think would be really good for us to listen to together. Okay? Remember, this is the legacy that we're building for generations to come. So let's keep building strong generations. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Strength for Generations. If this podcast encouraged you, it would be a blessing if you took a quick minute to leave a 5-star review. It helps more families hear this message and find hope for their health and faith journey. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. And if you feel led to share this episode, text it to a friend, post it to your stories, or send it to someone on your heart. God might use it to encourage someone who really needs it today. And don't forget to eat steaks, lift weights, love Jesus, and keep doing it His way.